Imagine getting a phone call that changes your life forever, not because it makes you rich, but because it destroys everything you thought you knew about the person sleeping next to you for 14 years. Sarah was folding laundry on a random Tuesday in March 2024 when her phone rang. The voice on the other end was calm, clinical. "Ma'am, this is Officer Ramirez with the King County Sheriff's Office. We're outside. Can you open the door?" She thought it was a mistake until she saw the coroner's van behind them. Mark, her husband of 14 years, had collapsed at his desk at home while she was at the grocery store, massive heart attack. 47 years old, dead before he hit the floor. The first month was a blur. Funeral, casseroles from neighbors, endless paperwork. Mark had always handled the money. Sarah taught third grade. She trusted him completely. Their savings account showed $42,000. The mortgage was almost paid off. Life insurance, $250,000. Sad, but survivable. That's what she thought. Then came the box. A week after the funeral, Sarah was clearing out Mark's office. Under a stack of old tax returns, she found a small fireproof lockbox she'd never seen before. No key. She had to drill it open. Inside, a single USB drive and a yellow sticky note in Mark's handwriting. It said only, "If something happens to me, plug this in. Password is our wedding date backwards." 2 o'clock. Heartbeat sound starts faintly. Hands shaking, Sarah plugged the drive into her laptop. A single folder appeared. Cold Storage 3. Inside were 12 random words, a seed phrase, and a file called readthisfirst.txt. She opened it. "Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I wanted to tell you 1,000 times, but I was scared. I got into Bitcoin in 2016. I never stopped. Everything is in the wallet below. I love you. I'm sorry." She copied the 12 words into a fresh wallet app. Balance loaded. Sarah stared at the screen for a full minute without breathing. 41.3 Bitcoin. At that moment in April 2024, worth $1,820,000. She screamed. Then she cried. Then she threw up in the kitchen sink. For 3 days, she told no one. She just kept refreshing the price. 41.3 BTC became 1.9, then 2.1, then 2.4 million as Bitcoin ripped past $58,000. She started picturing the life she could have. Pay off the house, retire early, take the kids to Italy like they always talked about. She even opened a spreadsheet titled New Life. Then the letter arrived. Certified mail from the Internal Revenue Service. Thick envelope. Return address. Criminal Investigation Division. Inside, notice of federal tax lien. Amount owed, $2,341,000. Plus penalties and interest accruing daily. Mark had never reported a single Bitcoin trade. Not in 2017 when he turned $18,000 into $400,000. Not in 2021 when he sold chunks at $60,000 and bought the dip. Every single transaction was unreported capital gains. The IRS knew because Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance had already sent them the records. Mark was dead. But his tax debt transferred to the estate, and Sarah was now the estate. She called the number on the letter. The agent was polite cold. "Mrs. Henderson, Community Property State. His debt is now your debt. You inherit the asset and the liability. You have 90 days before we start enforced collection." She hired the most expensive tax attorney she could find on Google. Cost her $25,000 just to walk in the door. He laid it out plainly. Option 1, sell the Bitcoin, pay the $2.34 million tax bill, keep whatever is left at current prices. She would be left with roughly $200,000 before state taxes. Option 2, fight it in tax court claiming innocent spouse relief. Success rate under 15%, could take 4 to 7 years. IRS would freeze the wallet the entire time. Sarah chose option 1. She sold every single coin in May 2024 at $63,000 each. Total proceeds, $2.61 million. IRS wire instructions came the same day. They took $2.34 million in one bite. Washington State took another $180,000. Attorney fees and penalties ate the rest. When the dust settled, Sarah walked away with $41,000, less than what had been in their checking account the day Mark died. But the story doesn't end there, because in that same fireproof box was a second USB drive Sarah hadn't noticed at first. She found it months later, taped under the lid. This one had a different seed phrase, and a letter that began, "Sarah, if you found the first wallet, you're probably furious. There's a reason I kept the second one hidden, even from the first letter. This one is in a trust, offshore, untouchable by the IRS. I never touched it after 2019. It's yours. No taxes ever paid, no paper trail. I was going to fix everything one day, I just ran out of time." She plugged it in. 18.7 Bitcoin, never moved, never reported. Current value as of today, November 2025, $1,930,000. Sarah sat in the dark for 3 hours staring at the screen. Then she did the only thing that made sense. She closed the laptop, removed the battery, wrapped both USB drives in plastic, and buried them in a coffee can under the oak tree in the backyard, exactly where Mark used to hide Christmas presents when the kids were small. She hasn't touched it since. Every single day she drives past that tree and asks herself the same question. Do I dig it up and risk everything again? Or do I leave it there and let it become someone else's problem when I'm gone? That's where the story sits right now. A coffee can, an oak tree, 18 Bitcoin, and a widow who has to decide whether her dead husband's final secret will save her or finish the job the IRS started. Sarah is still teaching 3rd grade. She still drives the same 10-year-old Honda, and every time Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, she gets the same notification on her phone. She never opens it. She just looks out the window toward the oak tree and wonders if some secrets are better left buried. 3 lessons from Sarah's story. You can protect your family from this nightmare in under an hour. Never keep your only seed phrase copy with zero backup plan for your spouse. Use a solution like Casa or Unchained Capital Multisig, where your partner is a co-signer without touching the keys daily. Crypto estate plan is not optional. Write a letter of intent, non-legally binding, that sits with your will telling exactly where everything is. Include dead man switch services like Safe Haven or Encrypted Inc. If you've never paid crypto taxes and you're sitting on life-changing gains, you still have options in 2025. Voluntary disclosure program, one-time get-out-of-jail card, offer and compromise, installment agreement. But the clock is ticking. The IRS crypto task force tripled in size last year. Mark thought he was protecting his family by hiding the truth. In the end, the truth was the only thing that could have protected them. If you love someone, tell them where the bodies are buried, because one day they might have to dig.
Subscribe so this never happens to you.